Assuming that you have taken up this course because of your interest in programming and improving your problem solving skills, competitive programming helps you refine your thinking ability and sharpen your brain to solve problems in given time and space constraints. This skill set is tested in programming contests. It offers many benefits for developers interested in practicing their coding skills. Sometimes these benefits can get lost in the online chatter about competitive programming. Critics complain that contests teach unpleasant habits, that people obsess over ratings, and that programmers should be working on real projects rather than puzzles. There's some truth to each of these criticisms, but they don't have to apply to you. The key to getting the most out of time spent studying competitive programming is to be clear about your goals. With that in mind, here are some reasons why competitive programming is an effective way to spend your free time.
It will prepare you well for technical interviews.
The standard coding interview has much in common with the programming competition. They both need solving a clearly defined programming puzzle, tend to focus on well-known algorithms rather than domain-specific technologies, and reward quick solutions. There are also some differences. In a programming competition, you have access to a computer, while in an interview, you will generally be coding on a whiteboard. Competition problems tend to be harder, especially once you have some experience, and online judges don't require you to explain why a solution works. But the key point is that experienced competitive programmers will find the coding part of an interview a dreaded experience for most developers to be rather straightforward.
You'll get used to work on challenging problems.
It's true that many people with a software development background are hired for jobs that don't require extensive knowledge of algorithms or performance optimization. Some of these jobs may not even involve much coding at all. But clearly, there are also quite a few developers working on operating system kernels, compilers, graphic rendering engines for multiplayer games, and other projects that require specialized skills. If you're interested in that type of job, then it doesn't really matter what the typical programming job looks like. The skills that you will learn preparing for programming competitions will be quite relevant to the job that you're looking for.
It's a way to publicly prove your skills.
Competitive programming communities have leaderboards that list competitors' performance in the contest. A good ranking proves that you can solve problems under pressure, and it shows where you stack up compared to your peers. A competitive programming score, like a history of commits to GitHub projects, is a way to demonstrate that you can actually code without the need to stand in the front of a whiteboard while an interviewer looks over your shoulder. Don't like the idea of a public profile? Imagine that you are in the market for a new programming job. If a hiring manager sees a link on your resume to a profile showing steadily increasing programming contest performance, they'll be a lot more likely to schedule a technical phone screen or bring you in for an interview, since you have already proven that you can do well.
It's guaranteed brain exercise.
On any given day, what you're asked to do at work may or may not be challenging, or you may be exercising one of the many non technical skills required of software developers. By practicing regularly with competitive programming problems, you can ensure that the coding part of your brain receives a regular workout. It's like one of those brain training apps, but for real skills.
It's a way to practice fast coding.
Most commercial software development work has a deadline, but it's usually measured in weeks or months. In competitive programming, the deadlines are measured in minutes. This provides a unique perspective on problem solving and implementation. There isn't time during a contest to search the web for answers. You must have language syntax and algorithm knowledge at your fingertips.
Willingness to accept the failure increases.
Competitive programming teaches you how to fight until the problem is solved. It helps you learn tenacity and determination. Competitive programming instructs to focus on the process instead of the outcome. We solve the problems, we optimize it, we fail, and we try again. And this is what we do while developing the real life software applications, right?
You will really learn your chosen language.
It is common knowledge among learners of human languages that the best way to get to intermediate level in a new language is immersion. If you're not, then contests will push you to get there, whether by making you use the correct fingers to hit those special characters, learning the syntax for common library methods, or just writing a lot more code.
You can structure your deliberate practice routine around it.
Deliberate practice begins with the tools of the trade and a source of practice material. Golfers need balls, clubs, and sand traps. Musicians need instruments and sheet music. Programmers need a computer and a description of what to build. The contest host provides problems, test cases, and community. The practitioner is then free to focus on building good study habits and refining their learning process. Pick a problem, solve it, reflect on how your process worked, repeat.